What's going on, good people? Happy Wednesday. Happy schedule release day. Let me know if the vocals are good. Let me know if the audio, if the visuals good as well. Just let me know in the comment section, man. How's everybody doing tonight? There's a lot of excitement in the air tonight. I need these Knicks to pull this through. Okay, Mitchell. But let me know if I'm good before we get started. What's going on, everybody? I see Luann is in the building. My big brother Shamari's in the building. That dark friend was going on in the building. Shout out to everybody that's here. My man, that dark friend says, oh boy, interesting schedule. Laugh out loud, hang with Grossi until 9. I don't know what that means. Luann says the schedule don't mean anything. I wish fans and sports media would stop because any team can be beaten. And that schedule is not all that tough. Giants have a defense. Let's not forget. That's what's up. Shamari said, let's go. Let me get some music in the background. Hold on just a moment. Sorry. Let me turn that down a little bit. Get back to these comments. Rick Torture in the building. What's going on? Let me get a roll call real quick, though. Let me get a quick roll call. Trap Draco, what's going on? Trap says, watch out for the upset come week 1. That's what's up, man. That's where I'm at right now. And the funny thing about it is this. Let me know if I'm good, though. Everybody, let me know if I'm good. I'm good. Because I got some things to say. Because I've been running around. I've been running around from different content creators' channels, and for the most part, I'm not loving what I'm hearing right now. I'm not loving what I'm hearing. It's a lot of doom and gloom. The schedule is so tough. The New York Giants can start 0-4, and I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. What are we doing here? Didn't we get better? Didn't we get better? I'm not conceding any games in May. So for all those out there that seem to be in that doom and gloom area, let me turn my light down just a little bit. It's too bright in my face. There's too much light skin happening. For all those people out there, man, that are down in the dumps over this schedule, what are you doing? It's only May. The New York Giants have improved. I got what I wanted too, man. Listen. I kind of wanted the Dallas Cowboys week 1. After that, I wanted the Washington Commanders. You know why I wanted the Washington Commanders? Because, oh boy, the Washington Commanders fans, I don't know who they think they are. You got one good season in you, and all of a sudden, you think you God's gift. I understand you got your quarterback. Salute to you. High five, you got your quarterback. What your quarterback gonna do when he's on his back, though? That's what I'm talking about, man. We improved this defense just for that. So it makes me kind of upset when people, hold on. Let me turn myself up a bit. Let me know if I'm good, because I can make sure I'm good in here. Let me turn myself up a little bit so I can hear myself. That's better. Let me know if I'm good, though. Where was I? Yeah, man, these Washington Commander fans, man. And TP. Shout out to my man TP. TP had his Giants, the NFC East show he had this weekend, and I was watching it. And like I said, the Commander fans are very, very cocky right now. You didn't win anything. You had a good season. You had a good run. When I look at, okay, how did they improve their team? I don't think they improved their team more than what the New York Giants improved our team. That's what I'm saying right now. But hold on, let me get to some of these comments though. My man Fighter's Destiny in the building said, yo, what's up? Big Blue 8 says, what up, bro? He says, Knicks gonna come back. I hope so, man. Right now, I got my timestamp might be different from y'all. I got a minute and 26 left in the third. Right now, Boston's up 91-76. It's ugly right now. It was the perfect time to start this stream because I don't know what's going to happen in this fourth quarter, but I won't count them out because guess what? We've been coming back in the fourth quarter the last, early on, or almost every game, I should say. Pete Turner, what's going on? Again, Rick Torture, what's going on? My man South says, what's good, He said, what's good, my good man? Now, hold on. There's a guy named South that's a Commanders fan. I don't believe this is you, but let me know if it is because I got some smoke for everybody right now. But no, what I was saying was I'm looking at the schedule, right? I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm like, we already knew it was going to be one of the toughest schedules, right? We already knew who our opponents were going to be. The first 4 weeks, yeah, that's tough on paper. But for the people that are talking about conceding games, talking about 0-4, nah, I can't accept that. I will not accept going 0-4 in May. Are you kidding me? That's not how I'm built. That's not how I was raised. I don't give up games until the games is played and over with. That's how I am. Brandon, what's going on, Brandon? My man Rico says, Big Dads, what's going on? What's going on, Rico? Mo was in the building. Yeah. Shout out to the 56 people in the building right now. Make sure you hit that like button. Let these people know that. Let the algorithm know that we in the building. Let the algorithm know that we're going to talk a little bit spicy today, too, because guess what? It's May. Why wouldn't I be spicy in May? Pause. Why wouldn't I? And for me, it's like, I understand the Giants are who we are. We've been who we've been. But y'all not excited at all? Some not excited at all. But what are we doing here? We got the Commanders week 1. The Commanders can't be beat. Last year, we played the Commanders tough. Last year, week 2, if we had a kicker, we probably would have won that game. These guys are going to have a field day chasing around Jaden Daniels in week 1. I'm going to be happy about it, too. I'm happy. What's going on, Koof? My man Koof Man is in the building. My man John May in the building. What's going on, John? He said at least most of our tough out of conference games are at home. That's true. That's true. We're going to get into the schedule. You can see it in the background. I'm going to make my visual small so you guys can see it. My man TP Way in the building. He says, thank you, Daz. Exactly how I feel. That's what I'm talking about, man. We're not doing none of this conceding stuff in May. Are you kidding me? And it's funny to me because just last week, everybody was so excited about some of the moves. I mean, not even some of the moves, a lot of the moves that were being made. A lot of people, we got Abdul Carter. Oh, Abdul Carter's going to do this. And then once the schedule comes out, everybody's like, let me pump the brakes. Nah, man. We're not pumping the brakes over here, man. It's full speed. It's full speed ahead. Listen, I got all season to be upset when games are actually being played. I got all season to be mad over a loss, but no, it's May. Be excited right now. Get excited right now. That's the type of energy I'm on right now, man. My man Big Blue says, I agree with you. He says 10-7. I'm loving it. My man Ruben, he said, man, F that schedule. We want all the smoke. 10-7, 11-6 incoming. Shout out to Big Lou. Shout out to Big Lou G Nation Sports, the original Mr. 11-6. Shout out to my brother. My man Rick Torture says, you get your game week 2, and then and they totally underestimate the Giants this season. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I was in this, so I was I got a story time real quick, right? So I was doing my daddy duties this morning. I was dropping off my son at school, and I was listening to a Washington Commanders Spaces, right? And I was just okay. We kind of know the leak was out. We knew that the Giants and the Commanders were going to play, so I wanted to see what type of energy, what type of time the Commander fans were on, right? So I'm in there. I'm by myself in there, right? I'm just listening, and then all I can hear is, oh, man, I can't wait to go to Wisconsin. I can't wait for the Green Bay game. They're already looking past us. They're already looking past us. They're on the week 2 already. And I said to myself, first I said, woosah, let me calm down a little bit. And then let me request the mic so I could talk to these people for a minute. But I said, let me calm down a little bit, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, the Washington Commanders, right, who's been at the bottom of the bottoms. We forget the year prior to last year, they were picking ahead of us, which means they were worse than us. They got their quarterback. They went on a run, right? Didn't win anything. They went on a run, right? They got to the playoffs. Salute to them, right? That's all they're going to get from me, though. They saw what we did as far as free agency goes. They saw what we did in the draft. And for the Washington Commanders, the people for so long, I put them under the wing because they was little bro in the division. They was little bro. I had them under the wing, right? They're not even worried about the New York Giants. They're looking at Green Bay week 2. I can't wait. I can't wait to play the Commanders. I can't wait for all of these games, but I can't wait to play the Commanders because guess what? I got smoke. from now until week 1, I got all the smoke for Commander fans possible. And hopefully you guys do too. And if it's a Commander fan in the building right now in the chat, let it be known. Don't hide from nobody. Shout out to my man Jay First with the $5 super chat. He says Dash is on fire. Giants fans support this man's store. Get to make the Giants great again hat. Drop a super chat for the biggest Giants fan out there. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Jay First, always showing support. Day one guy. Go ahead and grab you a hat. Listen. I didn't make this hat just cause. I made this hat because I believe it. I believe in it. I made these hats before the draft, before free agency. Why? Because we needed a change. I needed some momentum. I did it for myself. People ended up liking them. So a lot of people bought the hats. This is the most sold hat that I had in my store, man. The most sold item in my store. And that's thanks to you guys. Let's get back to these comments. Actually, let's get back to these rants. And I trust, just hold on a second. Like I said, I got the schedule in the background. I'm going to make myself smaller. We're going to get into these games one by one. But yeah, man, I'm just in the space with the Washington Commanders fans, and they're not even the New York Giants are an afterthought to the Washington Commanders. Listen, I know we've been down in the dumps. It's been ugly. It's been dark. It's been really dark. But nah, I can't concede games in May. I can't do it. I can't do it. And hopefully you guys don't do it as well, man. Nah, man. I'm like I said, I'm done. I've done my runs and my rounds already, right? And everybody I've watched so far, oh, the schedule was tough. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and be naive to the fact that, yeah, it's a tough schedule, but guess what? The New York Giants got tougher too. This ain't the Daniel Jones era New York Giants, right? Not saying that we got a spectacular quarterback, but we definitely got better quarterback play. And the one thing I ask people, and I'm going to ask everybody in here right now, I ask everybody, right? Do you believe that Drew Lock did anything special in that Colts game? Was Drew Lock special at all in that Colts game? Because I don't believe he was. I just believe he had good timing for the first time all season. He hit guys in stride. He hit guys to the point where they can make yards after the catch. Like they were able to create plays. That's all that happened in that Colts game. So you can't tell me that Russell Wilson can't do what Drew Lock did on a more consistent basis in that Colts game. And I'm not just talking about putting up 45 points. I'm just talking about quality, consistent, good, not even great, good quarterback play. That's all I'm talking about. And if you guys believe that, then I'm pretty sure you guys are thinking about this season like maybe we do got a shot with these guys. You know, maybe it shouldn't be that bad. Our defense can get the offense the ball. Can we sustain drives? Can we score points? That was the biggest problem for the New York Giants last year, scoring points. At some point in the time, the early parts of the season, the Giants led the league in sacks. The time of possession wasn't that bad. We just couldn't score points. Offensive line wasn't that bad until Andrew Thomas went out. So you telling me we come back healthy and we add these pieces? Yeah, I'm ready. It's up. It's up, man. Let me get to some of these comments because I'm way behind right now, man. Shout out to my man Off Broadway 718. He says Commander fans are out of pocket with the 7 field goal win. Don't get me. I'm already started, man. Don't keep me going. Pause. My man Soul Brother number 1 says, sorry. What up, fam? What you sorry about? Okay, here we go. Soul Brother says nobody takes into account injuries. Not all of our opponents will be at full strength when the Giants play them. Listen, I want my opponents at full strength. I don't want no excuses. I do not want any excuses. I want everybody ready to go. And guess what? So actually, yeah, let me get to these comments and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this schedule up. Off Broadway also says Vegas has us over under 5.5 wins. I'm running the over. Listen, that's easy money right there. You want easy money? Go ahead and do that. 5.5 over under in Vegas. Go ahead, take the over on that. That's easy money, depending on what you want to put down. Come on, Jalen. He just falling all over. That's a foul. Luann says Jaden Daniels is going to get killed. He's a small dude, and Carter is coming for him. And Dak too. Listen, I don't even want to talk about Dallas yet, right? Because and again, we'll get to the schedule because Dallas got Philly. Dak is coming back. Actually, I will talk about it a little bit. Dak is coming back off of an injury, and then he starts the season having a run away from the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And we already know that Philadelphia, this is all the respect they're going to get from me today. We all know that Philadelphia can get after it. That defense is strong. So Dak Prescott has that as a welcome back, right? So he's going to get chased around by the Philadelphia defense. And then the following week, he got to worry about Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Tibbs, Carter. Oh, he got to worry about all that back to back. Listen, I'm not scared of the Commanders, and I'm definitely not scared of the Dallas Cowboys at all. I don't care that they added George Pickett. I don't care about that. Dak Prescott has had a bunch of good wide receivers all at one time previously, and what has he done with that? Nothing. So we'll see what's happening with that. But I really got to get caught up in these comments, man. My man Fight His Destiny said, I'm chilling, going to be a tough season. Some people, listen, it's not going to be easy, but I'm not conceding at all. I might do a prediction. I might say, but I'm not conceding any of these games. My man, was it Artavius Jones says NC is in here. Shout out to North Carolina. My man, is it Elo 80 says, trust me, Giants will have film on Daniels. Yeah, it's out there. Daniels is a good quarterback. He is good. He's on the rise. We got a bunch of people chasing him. From every corner, up the middle with Dex, Carter, depending on what down it is, he might be blitzing in the A or B gap. And then you got Tibbs and Burns coming off the corner. We got better cornerback play. Hopefully better run defense as well with the addition of Golston and Alexander and the other guys. Yeah, man. I'm ready for this, man. Solitary Camp says all that hype just to lose. Can't blame Daniel Jones. Okay. The bad part about it is Daniel Jones beat y'all more than he lost to y'all. So it is what it is. I'm assuming you're a Commander fan with that comment. It is what it is, though. Shout out to y'all. I can't wait to play y'all. I can't wait. My man, is it the real Multi says, me and brothers looking at the tickets now for week 6 against the Eagles. I can't wait. Yeah, I was in the queue. I was looking at the queue just to see some of the availability. When I jumped in the queue for the tickets, it was like 150 people in front of me. I was just looking at the Kansas City game, looking to see what's going to happen there. I did look at the Eagles games too. Listen, right now those tickets are sky high. They sky high for real, man. They done lost their mind with some of these ticket prices already. But again, it is what it is. You could probably get a ticket way cheaper closer to the season. My man Elo 80 says Dable is going to have these guys up and ready. I hope so. My man New York Revival's in the building. He says we hype over here. Yeah, listen, I'm hype. I got enough energy for everybody right now. I'm not conceding games, brother. You already know what it is, man. If there's any time to be bold, to pump, to puff your chest out. If there's any time to do that, it's now. It's now. And then when the season starts and the wins really start coming, then yeah, listen, don't be late to the party. That's all I got to say to y'all. Don't be late to the party. What's going on, man? Let me go ahead and get caught up. Let's talk about this game. Shout out to my man TP Way with the $4.99 super chat. He says, want to know? I'm with you, Dash. Yeah. It's about to get spooky in a second because I'm about to lose my mind when I go through the schedule. Tune in for that. My man Fears J76 says, hey, Dash, how's it? I'm assuming how's it going? Enjoying the rant. I can't wait for I can't wait for the first week, man. And then we're gonna get to that home opener too, man. Sunday night against the Chiefs. Yeah. Dope Dez 1967 says, Big Dash, this schedule will make Brian Dable a legend. We got the dogs. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy I need right now. That's the energy I need right now, man. Oh, man. And listen, I might drop it. I might drop the link because I want to talk to some people, man. I think I'm caught up right now. I done got through it. My man Xavier Baker says 10-7. Fighter's Destiny says, I hope we don't start slow like we did the last couple of years. Yeah, we need to start like 2022. That's how we need to start this season. Nobody believes in us. Everybody thinking we're going to lose. And this is not the same New York Giants, man. The black cloud of Daniel Jones is gone, man. It's gone. And when I say that, I'm not, like, again, it's not that Russell Wilson is fantastic. It's just Russell Wilson can be consistent, and that's what we need. Can you get the ball to the playmakers? Last year, we couldn't get the ball to the playmakers. Guys was running around wide open. We saw it. We saw the frustration. I remember Wan'Dale Robinson deep crossing route, hands on his head because he's wide open and nobody gave him the ball. I remember how long Malik Neighbors had to wait for the ball to get there out of his cuts. I remember the Dallas game, double move, fresh off the bat. That's a touchdown if the quarterback throws the right ball there. Malik Neighbors had to turn around and wait for the ball to get there. That was a touchdown. You guys know what I'm talking about. Y'all guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the curse of Daniel Jones is gone. He let him go ahead and curse the Colts right now. I mean, A. Rivera says free Hyatt. I hope so. Hopefully they got a couple moon balls dialed up for him, man. I hope so. Pablo Vilez starting off. He says my prediction is 4-1 through week 5. Through week 5. He says to get us off to the best start in years. That's what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and minimize myself. Let's talk about this schedule a little bit, right? And I'm sorry it's a little bit blurry, but I snatched it straight off the Giants website, and I know that I couldn't get a clearer version, but I'll go ahead and read it to you guys. So obviously, preseason is what it is. We got the Buffalo Bills week 1 of preseason. Okay, the Jets. Hopefully, we get a practice with them week 2. Okay, and then I'm surprised that we have the Patriots in preseason because we also play them in the season. Let me go ahead and minimize that. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. I almost thought about wearing a jacket, but I didn't need it because I'm already hyped enough. Week 1 against the Commanders, the New York Giants, right? I think the energy alone, just a 1:00 game in Washington or in DC or wherever the hell they play at right now, Virginia. I really can't wait. I really don't think that people understand exactly what's going on when it comes to this defense right now. And when you break it down and you look at what this defense did last year, a lot of the bad stuff was because we couldn't stop the run. It's in Maryland. Thank you. I don't know where it's at. It's Maryland. FedEx Field, wherever it's at. Thank you, lady, for FedEx Field. I know that much. Shout out to the DMV. I don't think they understand like the main weakness for the New York. Like a lot of people say, oh, the secondary. A lot of people talk about the pass rush. No, it was being able to stop the run. We couldn't do it. 31st in the league in stopping the run. We were giving up 136 yards a game. What did Shane do in free agency before we even got to the draft? He went and got Ledbetter. He got what was his name? Roy Robertson Jones, whatever the guy with the 3 name. Robertson Harris, I think his name is. Robertson Harris, the man with the 3 names. My bad. He went guys that can stop the run. He went and got Darius Alexander. That's what happened. So he already was addressing what one of the main weaknesses was, because the pass rush doesn't mean anything if it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and short. It doesn't mean anything. So if you shore up this rush defense, then the edges are going to eat. The sacks will come, and the New York Giants will be back in business. So I rewatched the game against week 2 game against the Commanders, and I just thought about how many times we had Jaden Daniels dead to rights and he shook loose, and he made the plays with his legs because his line didn't help him at all. That offensive line is not there yet. They picked up Connerly. They needed that, but that's a guy. That's a rookie. Yes, I would have liked Connerly too. I mocked him a few times, but that offensive line wasn't just dominant. Jaden Daniels just was able to shake loose and create with his feet. And we couldn't hold the middle to save our lives for the most part. I remember, who was it? Micah McFadden had him dead to rights. About a 7-yard loss, he shook loose, turned it into a first down. That's what that game was about. Not this year. Not this season. Not with this defense doing what they're supposed to be doing. Hold on. Just a moment. All right. Not this year. We not doing that. We're not allowing that. A lot of people, we've got a full season on Jaden Daniels. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Jaden Daniels. Just like I don't take anything away from Jalen Hurts, because if you play them stupidly, stupid things will happen to you. But it's all up to Shane Bowen at the end of the day, too, when it comes to this defense. So for me, I got a surprise in the Commanders week 1. They're already sleeping on us. They're already thinking ahead to week 2. They're already thinking about going to Green Bay. That's what they're thinking about. And I think we go into FedEx Field. And I hate to use the word steal one, because I think we're going to beat the brakes off the Washington Commanders week 1. That's how I feel about this defense right now. I don't know what the offense is going to do. But I know right now, I like our chances week 1, especially if the fan base is sleeping on us like that. I can't say that the team is doing that as well, but it is what it is, man. Shout out to my man Tim in the building. Says Giants 2025 record 15-2. From your mouth to God's ears, Tim. I would love that. I would love for that to be true. From your mouth to God's ears, for sure. My man James Hollister, hold on, where to go? James Hollister says, what about the offense? Neighbors Slayton go down, gonna look ugly. Of course, if those guys go down, it's going to be ugly. We're talking about the top guys. Don't even put that out there. Don't even put that out there. That's like saying, okay, if CeeDee Lamb and George Pickett go down, or if Smitty and AJ go down. I'm not even going to say that. A lot of teams is going to be ugly if their top 2 wide receivers are gone. That wouldn't just be us. I don't even want to think about things like that, brother. I don't know what's up with Gabe Davis. PFF had him looking like he was on the team already, though. I didn't get an update. I didn't see an update. Anthony Mixon says he means 2-15. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. He said easy schedule. It ain't an easy schedule. I'm not gonna do that. It's not an easy schedule. Luann says, I thought the Giants were gonna sign Gabe Davis. Listen, what did I miss? Did I miss something? Thunder, what's going on? James Hollister said, the point is we need more at wide receiver. I mean, losing one wide receiver, not down at the same time. I get it. I get it, right? I get it. And shout out to Lenny. Lenny says tough schedule. Yeah, we know. We already know, Lenny. It's a tough schedule. When it comes to the wide receiver room, just think about it around the league. Of course, if guys goes down, it's going to be bad. Are you saying this because you want Gabe Davis? Is that what it is? But I will also say this, though. When you look at our wide receiver room, they did what they did with bad quarterback play. As many people that don't like Darius Slayton, right? He did what he did with bad quarterback play. He got the yardage he got last year with only 39 catches. Wan'Dale Robinson almost tripled his catches and still only, had less yards than Slayton. Like, come on, man. It's about this. It's the quarterback play matters. I do believe that Brian Dable, with him not having to worry about the weaknesses of the quarterback, I think it opens up the playbook even more. Yes, it's the first season with Russell Wilson. Damn, Nick's down 21. Good Lord. Hey, this one's over. But no, it's more consistent, better quarterback play. It has to count for something. So let's talk about this week 2 game. So week 2 against the Cowboys. And again, the Cowboys have to open up Thursday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. Dak Prescott is coming back off an injury, and their backup quarterbacks is who? Joe Milton. I want to play these guys 100%. I do want to play every team at 100%. I don't want a bunch of unhealthy teams, and then after the New York Giants beat them, they'll say, like, well, we weren't healthy. I don't want that to happen. So I want these guys fully healthy. But just think about it. The Dallas Cowboys, young offensive line, big test for them is the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And then they got to turn around and play the Giants, a hungry Giants team, too, with a lot to prove. You got a DC that got a lot to prove. You got a coaching staff that has a lot to prove. These guys are still on the hot seat. No matter how good this free agency period was and the draft was, Joe Shane is probably the only one that's not on the hot seat anymore right now. Brian Dable, still on the hot seat. Shane Bowen, still on the hot seat. These guys got a lot to prove. And I want to spend a block on the Dallas Cowboys. We owe the Dallas Cowboys for a long time, not just for the 40-0 victories, for a long time. As long as Dak Prescott been on the team, the New York Giants been needing their get back. We've been needing that get back, man. So unlike a lot of other people that I've watched today, I'm going to go a little bit crazy. Again, this is May. Perfect time to be crazy. The hopium levels are high right now. The hopium levels are high right now. So for me, I have the New York Giants. Like Luann is saying right now. I got the New York Giants at 2-0. 2 division wins early in the season. That's what I got. And I'm laughing because I already know how people feel about it. Some people are calling me crazy. Some people are calling me hype. Some people are calling me a homer. Homer Simpson. Call it what you want. I like this defense that much. Early in the season, I like it that much. Get back, I like it that much. We didn't, like, what is all the hype for with this defense? Everybody wanted Abdul Carter, right? Everybody told me he's generational. Everybody told me he's BPA. Everybody told me he can do all this. Everybody said he's the next Micah Park. Everybody said all that. But what's the point if you're not going to put your money where your mouth is then when the season starts? All of a sudden, he's not going to be the guy you guys claim he was going to be? Is Dexter Lawrence not going to be Dexter Lawrence? Is Brian Burns not going to be Brian Burns? Is Abdul Carter going to be Abdul Carter? And if the answer is yes, and we already know how Tibbs plays against the Commanders, if the answer is yes, then what are we scared of? What are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? Anthony Mixon says 40-0. Remember that, though. That's the whole point. I do remember it. I can't forget it. That's the fuel. That's the fire right there. 40-0. That's what it is. That's why I'm talking the way that I'm talking right now. Because of the 40-0. Nobody forgot about the 40-0. Watch the Giants put their foot on y'all necks. That's what I'm talking about. If we gonna talk spicy, let's talk all the way spicy. Foot on necks for the Dallas Cowboys in week 2. I don't care who you got at wide receiver. Dak Prescott, who? You don't even know what Dak Prescott is right now. What are we talking about? Shout out to my man Harrison Music with the $9.99 super chat. He says, "Hey Dash, been watching you since late 2022. Sorry. Let's go Giants. Very excited for this season. Hot take, but I think we get our revenge on the Chiefs from the 2021. Yeah, we had them. We had them in 2021. I remember that. Cave late. I remember that. Monday night. If I'm not mistaken, that was Monday night. I remember that. Surprised me too. I remember that. I can't wait, man. I'm not going to spin the block that much though. I'm not going to do that much spinning the block this fast. I already got us going 2-0. I'm going to pump the brakes on the Chiefs, man. So without further ado, okay, Chiefs, week 3, home opener. As much as I want this game, as much as I want this game, it's going to be tough. Somebody told me that Kelsey lost 25 pounds. He's in the best shape of his life right now. That's what somebody told me. I think he's an actor now. He likes to do shows and movies and stuff like that. He's dating a superstar. Travis Kelce lost 25 pounds. Nah, you're not big enough for me, Pauls. What are you doing? How you holding up on the edge after you lost 25 pounds? You're already 35 years old. What you gonna do, Travis? Some people will say that the Kansas City Chiefs tend to start late. I'm not going to even get into that. I don't want to go into no gimmicks. I don't want to ride any waves like that. But at some point in time, the joy has to end. So I got our first loss being a home opener, man. I apologize. I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't true. I hope it doesn't happen because I will be rooting for a win. But I got us finally losing one against the Chiefs. That's what I got right now. My man said 40-0. Remember that like I forgot. I'm not talking the way that I'm talking because I forgot that we lost 40-0. I'm talking the way that I'm talking because we lost 40-0. I've been chasing that for 2 seasons already. What are we talking about? Harrison Music says 70-20 hurt. It did hurt. It did hurt. Sleazy, shout out to Sleazy. He said as soon as he faces the New York Giants, he wants to be the best in the best shape of his life. Yeah. Oh, man, Luann says Mahomes is a dead duck. Ooh, wee. I'm glad you put the laugh out loud after that because to me, he's still one of the best, or he is the best quarterback in the league. James Hollison says by week 4, it cannot be 1-3. I wouldn't, even if that happened, I think we split. I like 2-2. For some reason, the Chargers come to MetLife and end up beating us. I don't know if it's the whole we should have had Justin Herbert thing. and he ends up just showing out and playing and beating us. I don't know what's happening there. I know that Harbaugh loves to run the ball, has a solid offensive line, is building something special. Picked up who they picked up, Najee, and then who else did they pick up? Was it Marion? Did they get a Marion Hampton too? Who did they pick up? It was another running back that he picked up. Was it Hampton? So you know they're going to want to run the ball. That's going to be a real big test for the New York Giants is the Chargers, especially that run defense. We kind of expect, we kind of know what to expect from the Chiefs. The Cowboys, somebody named me their running back. And we already know who the Commanders are, but the Chargers, that's because that offensive line will be humming. That's Harbaugh's whole thing. But it is what it is. Shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. He says, "Hey Dad, it's been a minute." Yeah, it's been a minute. You've been on Twitter. I saw you comment too. Yeah, it's been a while though. It has been a while. Hopefully everything is good with you. Hope everything down there in Barbados is lovely. Hopefully the weather's lovely, and you're enjoying yourself out there with your ocean view. Dope Dez says, "No, we start 5-0. Listen, Dope Dez, from your mouth to God's ears. Yeah, Corey Lum, I did see the Gabe Davis visits New York. Yeah, he said, "What about Cooper or Allen? Davis is injured and may never be the same." Now, I know he failed the physical. I think that's what caused him to be cut. But listen, man, I can't even worry about Gabe Davis or Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen. I can't worry about those guys right now because they're not New York Giants. When I look at this wide receiver room, a lot of people are down on the wide receiver room. And for me, I just ask people to think about it. Like, how much better would the wide receiver room be with better quarterback play? Just think about this. Just think about some of the catches last year from the wide receivers. Just think about Wan'Dale Robinson. The majority of his catches were like 3-yard catches. No room for Yak. He's either falling to the ground or running out of bounds after the catch. Same thing for Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, you didn't really see Yak from Malik Neighbors to that Colts game. You saw a glimpse of what he can be if the ball is on time. If the ball, if the receiver catches it in stride. We haven't even seen Wan'Dale Robinson really do what he's been able to do. And what's this, year 4 for Wan'Dale Robinson? If you go back and watch the Kentucky games, when he played at Kentucky, when he played with Will Levis got him the ball on time. And Wan'Dale Robinson was a Yak monster. That's what it's going to be about this year. It's about whoever the quarterback is, what is the timing going to be? How is the timing between the quarterback and the wide receivers? And a lot of people also say, well, the offensive line, we haven't done anything to fix the offensive line. I beg to differ, because just like the offensive line helps the quarterback play helps the offensive line. It's funny, too, because if you go back to 2023, when Daniel Jones was playing, the line looked a certain way. When Tyrod Taylor was playing, the line looked a certain way. Even when Tommy DeVito was playing, when you look at the Green Bay game, the line looked different. It was the same offensive line, same injuries, all that. But what changed? The quarterback play. So just like the offensive line helps the quarterback also helps the offensive line. It all goes together. It all goes together. So right now, I got us at 2-2 going into the Saints game. What's that? Week 5 against the Saints. Listen, I don't care what marching band. I don't care how many parades and what do you call them, street parades, whatever. I don't care what they do in the streets of New Orleans. We're not losing to the Saints. I don't care if it's Tyler Shaw. I don't care if it's Spencer Rattler. I don't care who they throw out there. It could be they could try to roll out Grandpa Arch Manning out there. I don't care what's going on. Week 5 against the Saints, it better be a W. It better be a W. You gonna let Tyler Shaw beat you? You gonna let Spencer Rattler beat you? I think not. If everybody's healthy, I don't even care if everybody's healthy. We better not lose to the Saints. Better not. So now I got us at 3-2, right? Let me know if y'all vibing with me, man. I got us going 3-2. So 3-2 after 5 weeks. And then finally, Thursday night football. New York Giants play the Philadelphia Eagles. I want my get back with the Eagles. And the funny thing about this is we play the Eagles, it's like, almost back to back. They keep wanting to do that to us. Play the Eagles back to back. They for some reason they love it, right? They love it. Now I'm not going to jump fully out the window. Yeah, Nick said Knicks are down bad. Yeah, it's cooked. I'm about to turn this TV off in a second. It is cooked. Yeah, 3-2. Where was I at? Eagles. Yeah, Eagles. So Eagles. That's where I like to stop these predictions a little bit, because now we're talking about October, and how many seasons have the New York Giants like already been out of it? Maybe not mathematically, but just how we look on the field. How many times have we been out of it by October? Last year it was over before Halloween. That's crazy. Crazy talk. I don't think that happens this year. Eagles on the short week. That's what you said. Eagles on the short week. I'm trying to think about it. John May says Eagles on the short week. And that's a home game too. For some reason, the Eagles got our number. I will say that. I wish I knew who the Eagles were playing before that, just to try to get an idea of who they're going to be playing on that short week as well. But I don't think we've closed the gap that far. Like I think we can box with the Commanders. I think we can box with the Cowboys. It's going to take, now if the predictions are true, my predictions, right? If we're 3-2 and then we're going into Philly, then of course I'm going to be live for that. I'm going to be live for that. And also I need to spin a block on the Eagles too. A lot of embarrassment happened there. Again, these are not the days of Daniel Jones. The recipe for Philly it's just so difficult now. You really can't play man to man, because as soon as people turn their back, and if you don't get good pressure, Jalen Hurts is taking off. That's one of the things when it comes to the Steelers. I'm sorry, the Eagles. And then also if it's third and short, you know the tush push is coming. It's coming. But man, I want that game bad, but I can't do it right now. I can't. You know what? I'm gonna stop this right now, because we could just talk about these games without predictions, because I don't want to jinx anything. But I am live still. I'm gonna keep the energy up. My man Mark Thompson says wide receiver room is good enough. Need good O-line and quarterback play. We will draft a top wide receiver in 2026 and have an unprecedented. Oh no, underpriced. Sorry, underpriced top wide receiver room in 2026. Yeah, I agree with that. I wish. Well, it all depends. I got to look at the wide receiver class. There's a couple of good wide receivers out, and for some reason, Ohio State always has a top wide receiver. It's not Smith though. Jeremiah Smith ain't coming out till 2027. Hold on. Luann says, so you think we're going to lose to KC and the Chargers? No, I don't think that. I just don't want to act too crazy and say 5-0 to start the season. That's where I'm at right now, because I do think we can beat the Chargers. And I do think anything can happen on any given Sunday. Luann says Hurts wasn't good last year, and they won't be hungry to win. They will have a Super Bowl hangover. I hope so. Mickey X says that schedule reveal video, I didn't even watch it. I haven't seen it. I know they were doing something, but I didn't watch it. What happened? Is it trash? Is it trash? Let me know. I'll probably watch it later. Maybe I might throw it on here if I got the bandwidth. I don't want to ruin the stream though. Shamika Boy says, I just finished chewing Kid Blue. Pause, fake Giants fan. Let's go Big Blue. Win the first game. Fake Giant fans find ways for us to lose the game. Good Lord. Shamik, I'm sorry, Shamik, not Shamika. Shamik Boyd. I love that energy. That's what I'm talking about. You can't concede games in May. I'm not holding my head down before we lose a game. Are you kidding me? We didn't survive the Daniel Jones era to keep giving wins away. That's not what I'm about. Shout out to Kid Blue though. Atlantic Lion says Roger Goodell deserves prison time for giving us the hardest battles, but it's all good. These dubs eating this season just gonna be that much sweeter. Now, yeah, listen, it would take me all day to go through this whole schedule. And I don't want to do that. I'm already 46 minutes in, right? So of course, look, when I'm looking at the schedule, that first 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks, the first 4 games, absolutely tough. I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to be, crazy or anything like that. It's a tough 4 game start. Absolutely. To me, the New York Giants have to somehow get to week 5 at least 2-2. 1-3, in my opinion, won't cut it. I'm gonna split these games up into 4 games, sections. Somehow, some way, when we get to the Saints, we got to be 2-2. I think that has to happen. Whether we beat the Commanders and Cowboys, or we beat the Chiefs and the Chargers, or whatever the combination has to be, for us to be relevant still, and I mean relevant within contention, we got to be at least 2-2. For me, and I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth right now. For me, the biggest thing with this season is not just about winning. Winning is everything, but for me, it's not just about winning. It's about respect. It's about being competitive. It's about being watchable. Those are the first things that I need the New York Giants to do. I want to be competitive, because in some cases we weren't competitive. I don't want to be the laughing stock anymore, because right now, if you jump in any room with any other fans of different teams, you say, oh, they ask you, who's your team? Oh, I'm a Giants fan. Some people will laugh right away. How do we get there? How do we get here? You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be honest with everybody out there, how did we get here? How did we fall so low? Stupid things happen. I believe in my heart, right? I believe in my heart that we made the right amount of moves. Not all the moves, but the right amount of moves to be competitive in 2025. Not just surviving, not just getting by, not just trying not to get blown out. I'm talking about competitive, putting up points, getting off the field on 3rd down. That's what I'm talking about, man. And it's been a while. The laughing got to stop at some point in time. And that's where I'm at right now. I don't care who's with me and who's not with me. That's where I'm at right now. Hopefully y'all feel that energy. Mark Thompson said we got a very late bye. That is a fact. I don't think we've ever had a bye week that late. What's it, week 13? Right? Week 13? No, week 14. Week 14 bye. Good Lord. You know what? Oh, and that's another thing too. Because like I said, I have been making my rounds. And I've been watching Talking Giants, if you want to call it Talking Giants now. I watched who else was it? Somebody else had Bobby Skinner on there. And the main conversation already is, when are we going to see Jackson Dart? Look at the bye week. That's a perfect time to put in Jackson Dart. And I'm telling everybody, I want Jackson Dart to succeed. But do you know what it means if you're already asking when we're going to see Jackson Dart? Like, really, just think about it. If you're already wondering to yourself, when are we going to see Jackson Dart? What are you telling yourself? That you're telling yourself already that we're not winning games, that Russ is looking horrible, Jameis is looking horrible, the team is in despair, and when are we getting Jackson Dart on the field? That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't want to see Jackson Dart in 2025 unless we blew somebody out and he's getting garbage time snaps. I don't want to see Jackson Dart because I know what it means if we see Jackson Dart. That's where I'm at. I understand we drafted him in the first round. I understand that. I don't want to see him because I know what it means. I understand the quarterback got to develop. I understand all of that. But if you're already, you're already talking about, well, Jackson Dart might start against the Saints. Nah, man, get out of here. Get out my face. Get out of my face. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I want Jackson Dart to be fantastic. That man needs some seasoning. He needs some developing. This ain't the first time I said it, and I'm not the only person that said it. Don't force that kid out on the field when he ain't ready. It can look bad. It can be bad. But just think about how much worse it can get if you throw him out there too early. Let's not ruin another quarterback. Let's not ruin somebody. Sorry for the rant. Mark Thompson also said mini bye week after week 6. Yeah, after the Thursday night game. Yep. Listen, man. It's not going to be easy. Ty2 Vibe, I already know what you mean when he said Ty2 Vibe. He said, why do they hate us, man? Ty took a look at this schedule and said, oh man, look at it. He got even his emoji. He got the hand over the face. Woe is me. Nah, Ty, you got to change that energy. Change that energy. You let me know what stretch of games made you put your hand on your forehead, man. Let me know. I'm gonna get to that. Sleazy said every time, Dash, every time. Nah, that's a fact. Giants Collective. That's where he was at. Giants Collective. Okay, yeah. That's where he was. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Mickey. Yeah, man. I'm sitting here like, oh, this, gotta get Jackson. This will be the perfect time for Jackson Dart. And I'm sitting here like, yo, man. And it's funny too because I argue with Cop Pizzle a lot. Like I argue with Cop Pizzle a lot. Friendly, back and forth. We message each other back and forth. The DMs on Twitter, right? And I let him know when he pisses me off. He lets me know when I pissed him off. But some things I agree with. Some things I really agree with. I'm not with the soft stuff, man. I'm not with the concession. I'm not doing that. People keep telling me how great certain players are, but don't want to give us the benefit of the doubt. I understand what it's looked like before. I understand Russell Wilson is 36 years old, but I also understand what we had last year. Every time I try to stop a rant, I keep going into a new rant. Listen, man, stop doing that. Y'all pissing me off in the chat. Respectfully, because I'm going to go on rants. Listen, it is what it is. Some people, they're entitled to feel the way that they feel. It's their right to feel the way that they feel. My man Christopher Moody says, 7 wins, my bad. We can beat the Vikings. Who's that Vikings game? That's all the way in week 16. And that's what? That's a home game? That is a home game. We need to spin a block on them too. They gave us a good whooping. They gave us a good whooping in those ugly uniforms week 1 last year. I better not ever see those uniforms again. Hopefully they burned them all. Burn them all just like Game of Thrones. Throw those jerseys away and burn them. John May says Pat Leonard has us starting 1-8. I will say this though. I've had a love and hate relationship with Pat Leonard. At first, I didn't like him too much. Got to know him. I like Pat Leonard. I do like him. Pat Leonard saying that we could start 1-8. Listen, I think a lot of people can't wait to see Jackson Dart. So what they'll do is they'll throw out scenarios where you can't keep Jackson Dart on the bench. And I think that's what it is at the end of the day. I also think that Pat Leonard doesn't think we're any good. And that could be another reason why he has a start in 1-8. And I'm pretty sure that 1-8, that one win is what, the Saints? So let's think about, 1-8, okay, that's the first 9 games. So that's losing to the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Chargers, beating the Saints, losing to the Eagles, losing to the Broncos, losing to the Eagles, losing to the 49ers. Who are the 49ers right now? Who are the 49ers right now? I don't like it. But even Pat will tell you he's not a Giants fan. He covers the Giants, but he's not a Giants fan. He'll let you know that. My man Fizz said, let Dart marinate. That's a fact. You got to let him season up. That's a brisket. Jackson Dart is a brisket. That is low and slow cooking right there. You want it to be perfect, low and slow. Got to have that perfect internal temperature. How many of y'all cooked brisket before? I know y'all been cooking. I cooked brisket before. It's a hell of a process. First, never mind. I ain't even gonna get into it. This ain't a cooking show. Streets ain't forget. What's it said? Receipts never expire. They want us to get Archie. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We just got Jackson Dart. Now people want us to get Archie. Who you talking about? You saying that in general, or you talking about somebody specific? Let me know. Christopher Moody says those first 4 games are going to be hell. That's one way to look at it, right? That's one way to look at it, right? Them first 4 games are going to be hell, right? And I already know what you mean by that. But just think about this, though. We're going to give those teams hell as well. Like, again, I don't know. I'm going to ask you a question, right? Is Dexter Lawrence blockable? Maybe with a he beats double teams. So you telling me, this is our defensive front in my mind right now, right? Dexter Lawrence is a nose tackle. To me, Chauncey Golston is probably going to be the 3-4 defensive end, and then you're going to have Darius Alexander. There's no doubt in my mind that Darius Alexander beats out Nacho by the time the season starts, right? Who are you double teaming? And if you double team Dexter Lawrence, what about Chauncey Golston? What about Darius Alexander, right? And most likely teams will still double Dex, right? He can beat double teams. But how many offensive linemen do you have, right? So you got 5 offensive linemen. Maybe you keep a tight end, that's 6, right? For blocking, right? You got Dexter Lawrence taking 2 people. How many is that left, right? Darius Alexander, most likely going to have a one-on-one matchup. Chauncey Golston, most likely going to have a one-on-one matchup. Brian Burns, a one-on-one matchup. Kayvon or Abdul Carter, one-on-one matchup. And depending on what Shane Bowen does, if it's one of those plays where Carter is an off-ball linebacker and you send him up the A-gap or the B-gap, what are we talking about? Teams are going to give us hell. We're going to give teams hell. I'm just talking football right now. We got too much PTSD right now. As New York Giants fans, we got too much PTSD, rightfully so, and I say that respectfully. Shout out to all the veterans out there. It's time to switch the mind frame, the mindset, Christopher Moody. It's not about these teams just circling wins of the New York Giants on their schedule. No. They got to show up. They got to play the game. Remember the Colts game, right? And I don't want to talk about the Colts game just because of a win. I remember the middle linebacker. I can't remember his name right now. The week of the Colts game, the linebacker for the Colts, they asked him, who you have up next? He said, we got the New York Giants. We ain't losing to them, this, that. He was talking boo-coo trash, and we dropped 45 on him. Sent him home embarrassed. Tail tucked between his legs. So they can say whatever they want. They got to show up on Sunday, Thursday, on Monday and play those games still, because the New York Giants it's not last year's New York Giants. We're not just rolling over. Actually, let me get out the schedule. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Mickey X says Cop Pizzle is the most passionate Giants fan. He is very passionate. He is. There's no doubt he is. He is very, very passionate. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to take that away from Cop Pizzle at all. What did he say? That the reigning was 18 years in the game right now. What's he reigning, defending the longest running channel in the country? Yeah, he got all that. Shout out to Cop Pizzle. I'm not going to say nothing about that. Tattoo Vibe says weeks 1 through 9 besides the Saints is brutal. Alan Greenwood said don't do it. Don't do what? Shout out to my man Griff Dudding. Is it Dudding? This is choreographed for a 3-10 start and dart after the bye. So you conceding, Griff. You conceding. No, I got you. I got you. Just remember, Griff. Just remember, Griff. There's always room in the car. There's always room in the car. If you want to get out the car, I'll pull over and let you out. You seen Boys in the Hood. Hopefully you've seen Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm talking about. There's plenty of room in the car. I'm driving the car. We are riding. I don't care who it is. We are riding. Says it's choreographed for a 3-10 start. That's how you feel. I'm sorry you feel that way. Respectfully. Aviator Cross says we didn't ruin Daniels. He was bad from the start and a bad decision at that pick. Whatever it is, it's over. I don't even want to talk about it. We threw him out there early. Funny thing is, back-to-back wins. Funny enough, his first division win was against the Washington. I think it might have been the Redskins at the time, or the football team at the time, actually. Yeah, man. It's funny. Q Cox, what's going on, man? Shout out to Q Cox, Vikings fan. Been rocking with me for a while, man. Salute to you. My man DeMarco Forbes says, Dash, every team in our divisions has 2 good wide receivers. I hope Banks can have a bounce-back year and hold up his end. That's a very, very true statement. That's why you create the zone defense. That's why you hope that you can get pressure with your front and you can play zone in the back, because some of these matchups are absolutely not in our favor. I understand that. Even with the pickup of Pulse and Adebo. Even with that pickup. But no matter how many good wide receivers they have, it all starts out in the front, in the trenches. If we can get to the quarterback, then I don't care who they got, how many duos, trios, whatever. It's all about getting to the quarterback. Shout out to DeMarco. Sonny Chiba says, good competitive games. Gain some confidence. 8 and 9. Hard schedule though. I like 8 and 9. I had as my prediction was 7 to 10 wins. That's where I'm at. I like 8 and 9. Anything that falls into that 7 to 10 wins, that's where I'm at. Just so everybody knows. My man, was it Capo 1974 says, yo, what's up, my New York Giants brothers and sisters, and to you, my boy. Shout out to you, Capo. What's going on, man? Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday night. Mickey X says, low and slow. We talk about Carson Wentz. I'm all the way backed up again. Pause. My man Mark Thompson says the key will be how good the pass rush will be. Establish a good running game. Execute explosive plays. That's it, man. We're just talking football at the end of the day. Execution at the end of the day. Absolutely. The scheme. Developing the scheme that fits the roster, the talent of the roster. That's it. Just think about, just think about this, right? It was a sad time in 2022 before that season started, right? We got Dable, but we really didn't know what we were going to do. And if you look at that 2022 roster, just think about that 2022 roster. Yes, you got Saquon Barkley. I understand that. But look at that 2022 roster. The roster right now is better than that. Daniel Jones was playing one side of the field, thinking and dunking, taking some shots every now and again downfield. Better ingredients, better play, Papa John's. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. El Jefe says, I see us going 3-1 in the first 4 games. Salute to you. Luann says the first 4 games will be like preseason. No team is really ready. So this can be a benefit for the Giants. Now, when you say that, though, when you say these teams are not really ready, I know you're including the Giants as well. I know you. And normally defense is ready to go sooner than the offenses are in the NFL. And I believe that with the Giants. My man TD Midas, what's going on, TD Midas? He says, I'm not worried about the Commanders of Dallas. I'm not worried. Listen, I'm not worried about anybody, in all honesty. I'm not worried about the Chiefs. I'm not worried about the Eagles. I can't wait. I want to see how we match up. Again, the ultimate goal is winning games. I want to be competitive first. I want to see how we play these games. I want to see what the scheme looks like. I want to see what we do on defense. Can we be as dominant as the names on the paper tell us? Because our names, the roster on paper, should be dominant. Can that translate to the field? That's what I'm looking at. At the end of the day, we could talk about these games. We could throw out a bunch of predictions. And I actually started the show out like, let me do some predictions. And after week 5, I don't want to do predictions anymore. I just want to talk about what this team can do, because I got pissed off today. Again, with a lot of these conversations. You're allowed to feel how you want to feel as a Giants fan. Listen, I understand that. There's certain things that I don't like to hear, and I understand that's a me problem. I don't like to hear that, okay, when does Jackson start? Might start by by week 6. I don't want to hear that right now. I don't want to hear anything about Jackson Dart starting right away. I don't want to hear that. Oh, or the New York Giants, we might start 0-4, or Pat Leonard said we're going to be one. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that, man. I don't. I'm over here leaning like crazy, like I can't sit up straight. Let's see what we got. El Jefe says got us going 3-1. People agreeing with El Jefe. Ford Expedition. What's going on, Ford? He says, honestly, we can split wins in the division, sweep the NFC North, beat the 49ers, Saints, and Patriots. 10 wins. That's the type of energy I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I think we can beat Dallas. I really do believe we can beat Dallas. I believe that we can beat the Commanders. The Eagles, are we there yet? That's yet to be determined for me. But right now, I can say with some type of confidence that I think we can beat the Commanders. I think we can beat the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, they don't scare me at all. Sweep the NFC North. So we got Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota. Is it possible? I think we could beat Chicago for sure. Minnesota is going to be the beginning of the J.J. McCarthy era. I haven't watched free agency to see who they lost and who they gained. But we need some get back for them. So I think we could beat Chicago for sure. Detroit Lions, I'm curious to see what they look like with all of their DC and all their coordinators gone. What are they going to look like? That coaching staff got poached. What is Dan Campbell going to do with his new set of coordinators? And the loss of creativity from Ben Johnson. I think we can split. I think we can split the North too. I think we can do that. And then what did you say? You said beat the 49ers. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the 49ers at all. Saints and the Patriots. Yeah. I'm with you there. Again, 7 to 10 wins is where I have us right now. 7 is the floor. 10 is my ceiling right now, but I'll take anything over that for sure. My man Byron Arnold says, Dash, we have PTSD. That's a fact, man. I understand. I had it too. I had it. You know what? I had the PTSD up until about 3 weeks ago. Once that draft came and going, I would say, you know what? It's time to switch hats. Quiz says, talk your stuff, Dash. I agree. They're going to have to respect us. That's a fact. The New York Giants are going to be a tough out, to say the least. Shout out to my man Phil in the build. Phil says Commanders are beatable. Cowboys are overrated and beatable. Chiefs, okay. But if Mahomes goes down, they're beatable. Chargers are still growing. Saints, we are better. Saints, we better win. And can't wait for Saquon. I can't wait either. I got to spin the block. Luann says negative fans. Listen, Luann, it is what it is. Hey, and me and you went back and forth a few times, Luann, about even when I was negative. Because I thought Joe Shane and Brian Dable were going to be out of here. I thought they deserved to be fired. You sat there and fought for those dudes. They ended up getting another chance, and it seemed like it might have been the right decision, especially when it comes to free agency in the draft. It might have been the right decision. We'll see what happens, though. Side Guy Brad says negative or realistic. That's up to you. That's up to what you want to believe. Again, what do you expect? Because I believe a lot of people they gave us an A minus for the offseason. I saw a lot of B pluses and A's for free agency. The biggest position on any football team, the quarterback, has been upgraded. The whole quarterback room has been upgraded. Last year, we went to battle with Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, and Tommy DeVito. This year is Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart. I don't think Tommy DeVito makes the team, probably makes the practice squad. But the quarterback room is a lot better. And that's the most important position on the field, period. Wide receivers, who gives a damn about wide receivers if the quarterback can't give them the ball? And that was our biggest problem. The quarterback couldn't get people the ball. And as much criticism as I gave Brian Dable, time and time again, you saw wide receivers wide open. You saw the concepts work. They just weren't getting the ball. And they definitely weren't getting the ball on time. And that just affects what's going on. And again, I hate to keep going back to the Colts game. Drew Lock didn't do anything special. Drew Lock didn't do anything special that game. And the New York Giants put up 45 points. You could take, the return points away, the 7 points from return. Still, we put up 30. The offense put up 30-something points. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's with Drew Lock. So you telling me Russell Wilson can't do what Drew Lock did? Throw the ball on time? I think he can still throw the ball on time. And guess what? He likes to stretch the field. And that's what Brian Dable wants to do. Big Blue said, Griff, put the blunt down. That's hilarious. Luann says, kick the negative fans out the chat. Nah, we're not going to do that. And I saw you did the laughing emoji for that. My man Q Cox, shout out to Q Cox with the $10 super chat. He said, your schedule looking like ours, week 16, belt to ass in the most respectful way. Can't wait to chop it up with you all season long. Shout out to Q Cox, man. Again, if y'all don't know, you do know. If you rock with this channel, Q Cox is a Minnesota Vikings fan. Prior to week 1, I was talking cash trash. A bunch of trash going into that Minnesota Vikings game. And we got whooped. And I fell on my face. And Q Cox was waiting for that reaction show, and he let me know. But shout out to Q Cox, man. I appreciate you. My man, that dark friend says any given Sunday. That's a fact. Is it Yakima? Braden says, hell no, we need at least 10 wins. I'm with you. I'm in the call for that. I'm with that. Christopher Moody says the key is the O-line for real. We can never get that right. You know what's crazy about that? I'm not even going to argue with you because that is a true statement. We can never get it completely right. That's a fact. That's a fact. The biggest question mark is if the offensive line can stay healthy. When you think about this year in the draft, we still only took one offensive lineman. Still. We just so happen to take a pretty good one. But also the veterans on the team. It's better depth. Just if Andrew Thomas goes down like he did last year, I believe that Jermaine Illuminor will get shifted to the left tackle. But even after that, we don't have to worry about Evan Neal being on the outside. Evan Neal probably, maybe, might be the starting guard if he earns the spot. But we don't have to worry about him being on the outside anymore. We got James Hudson, and most importantly, we got Marcus Bowe. And I think Marcus Bowe can be very, very good for the New York Giants, even on the outside, even though people are arguing about his arm length. Is it 32 inches or is it 33 inches? 33 inches is ideal. Joe Shane told us they measured his arms twice. He's at 33. So for me, I'm putting Marcus Bowe on the outside. And if he fails on the outside, we kick him inside and say we can blame it on his arms. John May says, I would be grateful to be some wild card playoff graphics, even if we compete or even if we're complete pretenders with Russ. He said, hold on. I would be grateful to be on some wild card. Okay, I got you. I would love it too. Phase 114 says, yo, what's up, bro? I'm feeling good about this season. I'm glad you're feeling good because a lot of people aren't. I'm feeling good with you. And there's a lot of people in this chat that also feel good about it. I feel good about it. I saw the schedule. I looked at the first 4 weeks. I said, okay. You know how they got that meme of what was it? It was Cam Ward. Might have been the Super Bowl. I can't remember when the team turned around and scored and it was time for him to go back on the field and he just shook his head like, yeah, let's go. That's how I feel about it when I looked at the schedule. First 4 games, I said, okay, let's go. Fear can't live here anymore, man. Fear can't live here anymore. You hear? Fear can't live here anymore when it comes to these Giants. I can't. I'm not ashamed of this team. I'm not ashamed of the roster. I'm looking at this roster. And again, I don't know what's going to happen with the offense. I understand that. If the offensive line plays well, I think we're going to be able to score points. If the quarterback play is solid, I think we're going to be able to score points. But when I look at this defense, let me know in the chat right now. Let me know in the chat right now. Where's the weakness on the defense? Where is our weakness on the defense right now? I'm not talking about last year, but last year's players and last year's rosters and last year's depth chart. I'm talking about right now when you look at the Giants right now, when you look at the depth chart and when you look at the roster, where is the weakness? I don't think that the weakness is on paper or on the roster or on the back of the jerseys. Right now, it's all about what Shane Bowen is going to do with these players. My man, Giant Topic. Shout out to Giant Topic. If you're not subscribed to Giant Topic, make sure you go ahead and do that. Fantastic Giants content creator. Giant Topic says, I think the Giants go 2-2 to start the game. To start the season. I'm with that. That's where I'm at with it. I think that's where we need to be. We have to be there. In order to stay in contention, we need to be 2-2 after the first 4 weeks. And then 3-2 after we beat the Saints. Luann says, I don't listen to these sports media idiots on TV. I listen. I might not accept it, but I do listen. It's entertainment. It's entertainment for sure. Pablo Vilez, important point right here. He says we gotta win division games with the defensive front. We should put everyone on notice. I agree with you 100%. 100%. My man Sean Jackson says, "What's up, Big Dash? I'm pissed the Knicks lost tonight." Yeah. As for our Giants, our defense and offense better hit the ground running once the season starts. Can't afford a slow start this upcoming season. We can't, because you can find yourself in a hole quickly. My message to Brian Dable is this: run the ball. Run the ball. Stick with the run. Run the ball. The passing game will be there. Run the ball. Show your physicality early. Get your offensive line moving forward early. Dictate early. Stop being reactionary. Stop trying to be a counterpuncher. Hit the ground running like my man said. My man Big Al reacts. Big Al reacts says, I believe we can win 9 games, maybe 10. I'm with you. Big Blue 8 says, everybody sleeping on Russ he will retire a Giant, turn us from 3-14 to 8-9 or 10-7. That's all I want to hear. Some positivity in May. That's all I want to hear. That's what got me fired up in the beginning of the show. Like before I started my stream, I'm bouncing around from channel to channel, and I keep hearing, "Oh, it's so tough. We can start 0-4." That's what I keep. When is Jackson? That's what I kept no matter what channel I was on, and I didn't go to every channel, so I do apologize. I don't want to. But the channels that I did watch, that I did step in and listen for a little bit, that's the vibe I was getting from it. That's the vibe, and it's May. It's May. Who gives up in May? The first game is what? 4 months from now? Can't give up in May. No. My man Mark Thompson says, I think the Commanders may have a down year, second year for Kingsbury, Daniels. The league catches up. That's a fact. Jaden Daniels carried that Commanders team last year. He showed some maturity that a lot of rookies don't show. He topped C.J. Stroud's rookie season. Pretty much just killed that season. But again, like you said, the league catches up. The league catches up to everybody eventually. The league caught up to the Eagles caught up to Patrick Mahomes. So if Patrick Mahomes can get caught up to, Jaden Daniels can get caught up to. Everybody can. Everybody can fall the victim. Look at Josh Allen. Look at Lamar Jackson. Those guys kill it all season long, and they get in the playoffs, and what happens? Somebody catches up to them. Listen, it is what it is. Off Broadway says, you spinning the block. Some of us are hovering in helicopters. Listen, you patrolling the air. I'm on the ground. I'm boots on the ground, man. That's how I do it. Boots on the ground. I want all the action. I want all the smoke. I might call you for cover. Call of Duty style. Hey, Come lay this block down. I'm coming through. You know what I mean? Just answer the phone when I call, though. Off Broadway. That's what I'm talking about. Tattoo Vibey says, you think we're going to trade for Olave? Olave, and I say this respectfully, he got concussion problems, man. He really got concussions. I don't know if he's going to start wearing the Guardian cap. I think he should in games. I think he should if he wasn't doing that already. It's risky. What are you giving up? You got to give up draft picks for him. I don't want to give up my draft picks anymore, especially if Joe Shane is drafting the way that he's drafting. These draft picks are valuable, but Olave scares me. And I said it in the previous stream. Like, remember when Sterling Shepard was having concussion issues? Olave is like 10 times worse than that. Like, Olave can sneeze, and I don't mean that as a joke. And it could shake something up. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of Olave. My man Byron Arnold says, Dash, I'm locked in 8 and 9. I'll take that with a pleasure. Nick's hat, I see you. 718, most likely. Matter of fact, Byron, Harlem? I'm trying to remember. Byron, is it Harlem? Let me know. John Young says, we got YNs out here telling the lineup, big dog, any given Sunday. That's a fact. Listen, I ain't afraid to call on the YNs. YGs, whatever. I'd rather call them YGs than YNs. You know what I mean? I'm old school like that. But you know what I mean? Whoever hopping in the car, whoever's riding, I'm with it. There's one objective. Make the New York Giants great again is the only objective. Y'all say, you see how I did that? Make sure y'all grab a hat, man. Make the Giants great again. Shout out to y'all, man. Shameless plug. Shameless. Luann says Scatterbo is going to run all over the Washington defense. I'm with it. Listen, when I say, seriously, when I say Brian Dable run the ball, I understand we got Malik Neighbors. I understand Russell Wilson with the moon ball. I understand all that. And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying run the ball. Control the clock. Score some points. When your defense gets you the ball because they did a 3 and out, keep them off the field, give them breathers, keep Dexter Lawrence fresh, keep the front fresh, sustain drives, score points, run the ball. That's what I mean when I say that. I don't even want to talk about Daniel Jones, TD Midas. I don't even want to do it. Vote for Pedro. TD Midas says we should drop 60 on New Orleans. They're going to be starting Shaw. Or Shuck, whatever. I don't care about Tyler, Shuck, Shaw, Shambles. Tyler Shambles is what I'm going to call him. That's my new name for Tyler Shuck. Is Tyler Shambles. I don't want to hear nobody else saying that. Tyler Shambles. That's what's going to happen when the New York Giants play them week 5. He's going to be in shambles. Christopher Moody says, we not losing to no damn McCarthy. Talking about JJ, huh? And I know Q Cox was going to say something. What Q Cox say? I love what you guys did this offseason. I'm talking all my Giant friends off the ledge. And see, that's what I'm talking about, Christopher Moody. Q Cox, again, yes, he is an op when it comes to playing the Minnesota Vikings. But outside of that, it's a cool dude, good dude. Reasonable, too. We'll talk trash back and forth, as he should. But at the end of the day, good fellow. My man JC Rhythm says, F the car, Dash. We in the SUV, 10 wins or more. Yeah, we in the motorcade, right? Forget one car, we got a motorcade. That's how we doing it. That's what's up. Let's see what we got going. My man Christopher Tony, shout out to Christopher Tony, says, hey, Dash, and everyone in the chat. Go ahead and show Christopher Tony some love, man. I ain't seen you in a while, Chris. What's going on? How you doing, man? Maybe I just missed you. But I don't remember seeing your name last week. TD Minus says, I'm annoyed we keep getting a late bye week. It is what it is, man. Usually, but how many years, like for like 10 years straight, in all honesty, maybe even 20 years straight, our bye week was like week 9, like right in the middle of the season. Guess what? When you're not winning, when you're a little bit tarnished and beat up, maybe they don't give you what you deserve or what you want. My man Darnell Big Money says, yo, Big Dash, what's good, homie? You think we going 0-4? I say, listen, man, I know you probably just tuned in. Ain't no way in hell we going 0-4 to start the season. No way possible. Nope. I'm with you with the 2-2, and I think that's something that has to happen. 2-2 has to happen in order for us to be in contention. I don't want to accept anything less than 2-2 after the first 4 weeks. That's where I'm at right now. Joel Castillo says Okereke ain't having an Okereke type of season last year. That's a fact. I'm one of the people that always talk about Okereke, and a lot of people think he just fell off. I don't think he fell off at all. There's some plays where you might have saw a lack of hustle, plays that were head scratchers, but he played a different position. It was a different role and a different scheme, and I think that's what took his toll. We liked him more aggressive, how Wink had him more aggressive, and he was more of a run and chase and hook the curl type linebacker, and I think it took its toll. Hopefully Shane Bowen can get Bobby Okereke or scheme Bobby Okereke back to what we saw before, because Bobby Okereke looked like he was going to be a Pro Bowler after his first season with us. I thought he was going to be a Pro Bowl lock, and then we saw what happened, and then he also dealt with an injury too. And that's also too very true. Christopher Moody says, Okereke's season wasn't good last year because our D-line wasn't good. Yeah, a lot of people forget what the main purpose of the defensive line is. And that's to keep your linebackers free to make plays, to make tackles. If a guard is getting free to the second level, it's not good. It's not good. If the center is able to reach and get to the linebacker, it's not good. Got to have gap assignment. Got to have, got to be able to do what you're supposed to do in order to keep these linebackers free, and then allow those guys to move free and make the plays. That's the main job of a defensive line. Now you have guys that are just special, like Dexter Lawrence, who can disrupt every aspect of the game, and then you got to coach around that as well. My man Giant Topic says it's hard to pinpoint what would be the weakness on defense, but I probably say middle linebacker or slot cornerback. But that's nitpicking. Bowen needs to cook, and he's getting shipped to Rikers. When you say slot corner, you don't like Phillips, or did you just forget about Phillips? I'm curious. Let me know. James Henderson said, I just watched week 2 games against the Skins. Our third down defense was trash. Absolutely. Can't get off the field. Why? Jaden Daniels was making plays. You just watched it, so I know. How mad were you when Micah McFadden missed that sack? Pause. Right? Or how many times Jaden Daniels tucked it and ran and just got, listen, that game pissed me off, man. Got to have better containment. Got to. You got the speed off the edge. You also have speed at the off-ball linebacker now too, because Carter's going to be a hybrid. It has to. The results have to be there. I have to see something. It has to be better. My man Artavius Jones says, do you think Brian Burns will have another breakout year? The money dictates that. He should. When you keep adding to the defensive front, he didn't. I don't think Brian Burns' issue was getting to the quarterback, because he did get to the quarterback. He did have a decent year. It's just and he did make some impactful plays too. I had to stop myself from. You just wanted to see more. For as much money as he's getting paid, you want to see a little bit more. You want to see him take that next step. And I do think he can do that with this front, because again, he's going to get a lot more one-on-ones. And if Bowen can scheme this up right, because again, there's ways to generate pressure without just blitzing all the time. You can do stunts. You can be creative with how the defensive line is lined up. You can have people with their hand in the dirt. You can have people walking around, pre-snap and stuff like that to keep the quarterback guessing. There's ways to generate pressure outside of just flat out blitzing the ball. Shane Bowen is really the key to all of this. If we're going to be honest, he got the keys to the car. He got to drive it right. Shout out to my man Andre. This is Garces. Garces says, yo, what up, Big Dash? Vamos, Big Blue. That's a fact. Let's go, Big Blue. Christopher Tony, why are you bringing up the Celtics game, man? We do need to win game 6, though, for sure. For sure. Sanders says the Giants did a good job bringing in a number one corner because Banks will be a shutdown number two corner. That's the goal. That's the expectation. That's what we're hoping. And I keep saying the same thing when it comes to Tate Banks. He seems to always be where he's supposed to be. Just turn your damn head around. That's it. That's it. Even some of the touchdowns that were scored on him, he was right there. Right there. Turn your head around, see the ball, get the deflection. PDs, get that. Pass deflections, get that. Turn your head around. I did see, who was it? It was Andrew Phillips talking about Tate Banks, and he just talking about how Tate Banks is different, how focused he is, and I think he took it to heart last year. There was a lot of things that happened with Tate Banks last year. The benching, the fan base getting after him for his lack of hustle. I'm guilty of that too. I don't feel bad about it. He did dog it on some plays, but I'm assuming that he has a chip on his shoulder. I'm assuming the pressure of being the CB1 is not there anymore or won't be there. And if they're saying right now that they can tell there's a difference in how he's acting, and we're talking about not even mini camp, just off-season programs. If he's focused in the off-season programs, then I think he's ready to go. I think he might have felt embarrassed a little bit with what happened last year. Being a starter and getting benched, that for some people it can fold them. For some people it can make them stronger. Hopefully for Tate Banks it makes them stronger. Pablo Villas says old school football, own the time of possession, run the ball, and let the defense control the momentum of the game. Bill Parcells' way. Let's go Giants. That's a fact. That's a fact. My man Jerry Carlock says, I'm not sure I see a weakness in defense, so much versatility to go with so much talent on paper. That's the one thing, on paper. They got to come to fruit, man. They got to come to fruition. Artavius says, where we get the hats from, Dash, that it's in my bio. If you go to the bottom of there's links all in the bio. It'll take you to the merch site, and then you'll see all the stuff that's in there. But it's definitely on the bio. You can see it. There's a whole bunch of links. If you click one link, it'll take you to the whole store. So you can go ahead and check out the stuff that we got there. But again, make the Giants great again. I almost threw on the Giants versus everybody hat. I should have did that, but I was already locked in and closed the door, so didn't want to go back out and grab another hat. Sleazy says 2-2, 3-1, and 4-0. If other fan bases don't like it, too bad. They're gonna get whoopings. Luann laughing at shambles. DeMarco says, not going to lie, it would be dope as hell to run into you at the Giants game. Listen, that's a fact. I'm trying to listen, and it's funny too because what was the last? I didn't go to a game last year. Last game I went to was the San Francisco game. In 2023, obviously we lost that game, and that was like a year after I started the channel. So nobody recognized me. I was in the crowd. I was vibing with people. I was in the mood. I was loving it. But yeah, I would love to be able to get to some of these games and be able to vibe in person with a lot of y'all out there. That's a fact. That's a fact. Sleazy says Michael tackles too high. His second attempt, he finally went for the legs. It had to be muscle memory at this point. Been doing this too long. Yeah, I was upset about it. That game with Michael McFadden, though, he has gotten better year after year after year. 2022, he was trash. Let's be honest. He was trash in 2022. Shout out to Mike McFadden, too. I know he's a friend of Giants Rush, that channel. They got him on all the time. He was trash in 2022. 2023, he got better. 2024, he got better. He's continuing to get better. And I respect that. He got my respect for sure. Yeah, Brian. Harlem in the building. I knew it because I remember the first time, the first comment I remember from you. You said Harlem at the end of it, and then I saw the Knicks hat. I said, yeah, that's Harlem right there. I remember. Ryan's Big Blue Podcast, big fan of the channel, my man. Let's go Giants. Think we go 7-10 this season. Shout out to you, Ryan. I watched the video that you had. You had Bobby Skinner on the show. Shout out to you for that. Enjoyed it. If you guys are not watching my man Ryan Big Blue podcast, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. That again, we're still building this content community when it comes to the New York Giants. If you are a content creator for the New York Giants, you have my support. And listen, I don't agree with everybody. I'm not talking about you right now, Ryan. I don't agree with all the content creators. We all have a different point of views, and that's what makes us great. But when it comes to community, when we all form together, like an old joke, we form together like Voltron, it is what it is. But shout out to Ryan. Like I said, I did watch that episode with you had Bobby Skin on there. Shout out to you. Sleazy says Micah and Cordell been getting better each year. I believe that. And guess what? It's a contract year for these guys. So I expect these guys to be better. I see that you cleaned that up. My bad. I put the wrong one up there. I think I'm caught up. I caught up. All right. So we've been doing it throughout the show and throughout the chat because it's fun. And I want to take the temperature in the room. I want to hear, I just want to hear your season predictions really quickly. For whoever wants to comment, go ahead and put it in there. And I want to take the temperature in the room to see where everybody's at, because I can talk and feel how I want to feel. I can say 7 to 10 wins. You know what I mean? I can feel that. But I don't know how everybody else is feeling. Some of you guys I know, I've seen it. But go ahead and put that in the comment section. My man Eric Garrickson says Chris Olave would be huge. I mean, it just depends. If he can stay healthy, absolutely. Absolutely. You can say the same thing about Gabe Davis. You get Gabe Davis, that could be big too. The more weapons, the better. I understand that. But when I'm focusing on this wide receiver room, and when I look at this wide receiver room, let's cook with the guys that we have right now. You're only going to keep 6 of them. You're only going to keep 6 most likely. And one of those guys is on the back end of the depth chart is going to be Morset, the returner. I think he makes the team. So when you really think about it, you got about 4 guys fighting over 2 spots, possibly. That's tough. And the funny thing about it, it's not a guarantee for Hyatt either. And that's crazy to me too, because you traded up to get him. Hopefully he gets a chance, man. All right, some of these predictions started to roll in. My man is a Junior Fit 67 says 8 and 9. I see you with your shirt off in the picture. Gaines. Gaines, I see it. I can't think of a name. Says I feel like even though this team looks good on paper, I still think we win 5 to 6 games this year. You're entitled to feel that way. Yeah. Until these guys have proven that they can make things happen, I'm not going to argue with you about that. I just don't like people saying, "Oh, we're going 0-4 right off the bat." It is what it is. Mike Estrada says, "Sup, Big Dash from Cali." Shout out to you. I spent quite a bit of time in California, man. My man Sanders says 12 and 5. I wish. I hope. I would love that. Sleazy says 9 and 8 or 10 and 7 as of right now. Dash, I have the Giants as a dark horse team. I'm with you on that. Ryan's Big Blue Podcast says appreciate the kind words and support. My man, listen, man, it is what it is, man. Thank you for vibing. Thank you for showing up in the chat. Thank you for showing your support to my channel. And why wouldn't I do that for you as well? Why wouldn't I do that? That's how I live my life. I mean, show love, spread love. Even though I ain't from Brooklyn, it's the Brooklyn way. My man Phil says 11 and 6. Dwight Young says 10 and 7. JC NYC, I missed the pause. What I miss, man? Y'all be keeping me on my. I thought I was pretty good today with the pauses. I guess I wasn't. Oh man, JC says we lost to KC by 2 points with DJ. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, Gabe Davis went back to Buffalo? Okay. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Why not? Why not go back to where he was the most successful? Makes sense. Christopher Moody says Neal might be all pro this year. Watch, he should have been moved to guard after when you and everybody else felt the same way, bro. You and everybody else. My man Mark Thompson says, I'm going with 7 to 10 wins. I'm with you, Dash. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Christopher Moody says 7 and 10. Fierce says 9 and 8. Luann says we need to let this season start instead of these predictions. That's a fact. 100%. You saw me. I started off doing the predictions, and then I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? Am I really going to go down 17 games and rattle off? No, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, it's like, nah, I'm not doing that, man. I got to keep it authentic. I got to keep it real. I would have, like after week 5, I was like, I don't want to do predictions anymore. Wait till we get to the season. We can do game breakdowns and stuff like that. But I will say this, 7 to 10 wins is where I'm at. 7 to 10 wins. My man Tony High Point says, Dash, can't wait to see the progress off paper. That's a fact. That's what it's all about. Mike Estrada says week 14 bye is disrespectful as hell. Nah, it's bad. It is bad. Who knows? It might be perfect timing. It might be the right timing when we're actually in the season. Maybe there's something that happened and we actually need that break in week 14. Maybe that happens. Everything happens for a reason. God's plan. Phase 114 says download the Scatterable on Madden 25. Virtual beasts on video games. LOL. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And then Luann says, yes, 7 to 10 wins. Division winners for my Giants. Whew. Now we talking. Now we talking. Oh, man. Shout out to the 128 people. Make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know that we still in the building. Again, much love and respect to everybody that's vibing with me right now on a Wednesday. It's not our normal night, but it is the scheduled release. Wanted to throw up a show, and again, people showed up, and I love y'all for that, man. That's a fact. I think we all caught up. Tony Highbush says, never hide around my jury. Change the climate. Okay, you got it like that. It get too cold, you flying somewhere where it's warm. Oh, man. Well, let's take a look at it again, just so we have it. Let me go ahead and minimize myself again. So I just want to talk about these stretches again. First 4 weeks, we got to be 2-2 out of these 4 weeks. I think we beat the Saints, right? Eagles, Broncos, and Eagles. That might be one of the toughest parts of the schedule. The Broncos defense is very, very good. Eagles defense is very, very good. That's a tough stretch right there. Those 3 games might be the toughest 3 games of the season. In all honesty, I think this stretch right here is tougher than Chiefs Chargers or the Cowboys Chiefs Chargers or the Commanders Cowboys Chiefs Chargers. The Eagles Broncos Eagles. That's a tough game, right? That's a tough stretch right there. The Bears, I think we could beat the Bears. Packers, who's scared of the Packers, really? The Lions, who knows who the Lions are going to be right now? The Patriots, I'm putting the Patriots on the plate right now. It is what it is. Commanders, I want the sweep. The way the Commander fans are talking right now, give me the sweep of the Commanders. Let's knock them off of whatever high horse they think they are. They think they won the Super Bowl. I don't know what happened, but that fan base is outrageous right now. I want to sweep the Commanders. I want to sweep Dallas too, but it is what it is. The Vikings, I don't know what to expect with the Vikings. That defense always plays pretty tough, especially with Flores out there. Again, the JJ McCarthy era. I don't know what they expect from the Vikings. We'll see what happens. The Raiders, Las Vegas game. We beating the Raiders. We better beat the Raiders. I hope we can. I hope we can beat the Raiders. But I like that. I like that matchup. That's probably a game I got circled. That most likely I'll be at that one for sure. And then the Cowboys to end the season. It's been the Eagles for what, 2 years now? 3 years now. It's been the Eagles to end the season. I would love to sweep the Cowboys as well. A lot of people talk about splitting in the division. I'll take it a little bit further. The Cowboys are in the same boat as us right now, in my opinion. Is Dak Prescott better than Russell Wilson? Sure, he can be better than Russell Wilson, but how much better is he? How good is he going to be coming off of that injury? Offensive line is young. They are not the same dominant offensive line as they've been. They did pick up Tyler Booker. Fantastic for them, but I want to sweep the Commanders. I want to sweep the Cowboys. I really need that to happen. I really need a smile on my face in that last 4-game stretch. Beat the Commanders, beat the Cowboys, to beat the Raiders. So let's go 2-2 in the first 4 weeks. Beat the Saints. Oh, then the next four weeks, that's gonna be tough. We can go 2-2. We could go 1-3 in that second stretch of 4 games. And then the Bears, Packers, Lions, Patriots. It will be my pleasure to sweep that 4-0. High hopes, man. High hopes, but Bears are beatable. Patriots are beatable. We beat the Packers with Tommy DeVito, and then I don't know who the Lions are. Go ahead and give me 3-1. I'm not even trying to keep track of the record right now. I'm just saying what's on my mind right now. And then the Commanders, Vikings, Raiders, Cowboys. I want to sweep on both of those guys. I want my payback for the Vikings, and then the Raiders just know better. Oh man, I'm going crazy in here, man. I'm going crazy. I'm gonna stand on that though. I'm gonna stand on it till the season starts for sure. Dwight Young talking about Cop Pizzle, baby girl whistle. Now that's hilarious. Shout out to Cop Pizzle again. He get the whole family involved. He put out a video. What was I watching? It? I think it was yesterday. And one thing about Cop Pizzle is very, very entertaining. You can feel the passion through the screen. And again, we argue a lot. Me and Cop Pizzle argue a lot, but it's always respectful, and it's always that we both know that we are very, very passionate New York Giants fans for sure. I tilt to being a homer, super positive, optimistic. I go through a certain cycle every season, and if you guys have been vibing with me for a while, you know how it goes. Like the draft, I'm super high. Optimism is super high. Season starts. What's going on? Then I get mad if the losing continues. Then by the time, we get back to the draft again, I slowly start to bring myself up again. This year, I want that same feeling that I had in 2022. I want to be able to talk trash again at the end of the day. I want to be able to jump into these spaces with other fan bases and be like, yeah, I'm a New York Giants fan, and what? We play y'all next week. We're going to beat the brakes on y'all. Beat the brakes off y'all. Foot on next. It is what it is. I can't wait to get back to that. I got a little bit of a taste of that in 2022, where I was able to talk trash. I wasn't taking off my shoes before I walked in people's houses in 2022. I'm trying to get back to that. Because nobody is taking off their shoes before they step into the Giants' house. I've noticed that with a lot of people. And even now with the Commanders, the Commanders are feeling like they can talk however they want to talk to us. Nah, man. We might have fallen, but we're not that low. They might have got it in 2024, but it's time to get back in 2025, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for everybody for joining. Luann said Cop Pizzle yells too much. That's his style, though. Cop Pizzle without yelling? Nah, that ain't Cop Pizzle. That ain't Cop Pizzle. Shanae says Cop Pizzle never talks to us. He's always yelling. Needs to be as dedicated, but chat with us to make your point. Well, he doesn't stream often, though, does he? I don't think he streams often. So he doesn't get a chance. Listen, I know for me, and you guys can let me know, I think that I might interact with the chat more than anybody. Because again, I see myself as a regular New York Giants fan talking to other New York Giants fans. So if it wasn't for the chat, I probably would be sitting here just ranting and yelling too. But I love to see what you guys are talking about. I value your opinions. I value the debates. And hopefully everybody feels the same way. Indy Jets. Good Lord. He says Burn and Carter for sure, 12 and 5. So I'm seeing that I'm at the part of the stream right now where the people that didn't jump in at the beginning are just starting to watch. And a lot of these comments are probably talking about something that I said earlier in the stream. I understand that. Because before I'm like, wow, I talked about that an hour ago. But that's a good point. So, yeah, I'm about to wrap this up, man. My man, Bricks Jers. What's going on, Bricks Jers? 9-7. Shout out to the 973. What part of Jersey are you from? Bricks? Oh, obvious. I'm gonna say Bricks as in Brick City, but your name might just be Bricks. But let me know what part of 973 you from. You said what up, what up. I didn't mean chat literally. My fault. I take things literally. My fault. What Luann says. Luann says, I like this channel because you interact with us. Newark. My man from Newark. Shout out to Newark, man. My brother-in-law from Newark. East side. Yeah, whole family's from Jersey too, so I'm just saying my brother-in-law, he's from Newark. Yeah, Luann says, I love this channel because you interact with us. Listen, if you ain't interacting with the chat, what are you doing? Like I do my regular videos when I'm not doing my live show. I do my regular videos, and that's when I just go into my rants and I talk what I want to talk. I get off, whatever I'm talking about, whatever the video's about. But when I get to these streams, when I'm talking to these streams and I go live, it's all about the interaction with the chat. It's all about the interaction with the chat. That's a fact. And it's always going to be about the interaction with the chat, man. It's too many good points being made. Too many good debates being made that you have to acknowledge and talk about what's going on in the chat for sure. And a lot of people do. Avon Ave. Oh boy. Avon, huh? Yeah. Now I spent some time first. I got some family. Well, we used to have a house in Irvington, off Florence and Springfield Avenue, or if you want to say Florence and Chancellor too, depending on what side of the street you're on or whatever. But yeah, man, I spent a lot of time downtown. Up. It's crazy. It's been a long time. I haven't been back to Jersey in a minute. But yeah, my mom's still out there and all that. The biggest says Dash haven't won Hollywood yet. Hollywood, huh? Listen, man. There's some things hopefully that I never become. I hope I never become too Hollywood. I hope that never happens. And I'm not here for that. So yeah, it is what it is though. Now I will say this though, the channel is growing. The channel is growing, and the comment section is flooded. And sometimes I can't get to every one of them, but I try my best. Hopefully you guys appreciate that. I see a lot of people from Jersey in here. Shout out to Jersey, man. If y'all don't know, I'm from Jersey. I'm from a place called Vauxhall, man. I'm from Vauxhall, New Jersey. Some people know it, some people don't. Some people that the more popular city from Vauxhall is Union, New Jersey. That's where I went to high school. I went to Union. But I'm from Vauxhall, man. I'm from Vauxhall. That's where I'm from. Springfield Ave. Springfield Ave ran right through the heart of Vauxhall, man. Some people know, some people don't know. Shanae says I know Vauxhall as well. Yeah, that's where I'm from, man. I got the 908 on my arm and everything. 07088. Vauxhall. Shout out to Vauxhall. Shout out to my home. Much love to Jersey. That's what's up. Getting love from New York. It wasn't always like that, man. It wasn't always like that, but no, I tell you what, New York Giants bring us together. New Jersey and New York, man. That's one thing that we can be proud about is these Giants, man. Hopefully, one thing bring us together. Because boy, had some feuds with New York when I was young. Flatbush, Brooklyn. Okay, well, I'm not messing with you, Broadway. I ain't messing with Flatbush. Nah, shout out to y'all. I saw what was it? I saw they had the whole 100 men versus Gorilla, and then I saw who was it? Damn, what's his name? He said 100 Brooklyn dudes versus 100 Bronx dudes, and he was talking about how Brooklyn would wash the Bronx, and I just think it's hilarious, man. That's funny. That's funny. Not saying that I don't know who would win, because again, I don't know who would win, but he was saying Brooklyn would win. But I'm not about the division. Let's keep it. Let's keep it together. Let's keep it united. Mike Estrada said he grew up in Eagles territory. See, that's one thing about New Jersey. There's always those cities, and there's a bunch of cities in New Jersey. You can't even pronounce them damn things. I grew up in New Jersey, and I still can't. I don't. Is it Pennsauken? How do you say that? How do you say that? Yeah, that's a fact. That's what he said. 50 Brownsville girls versus. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. That you watch the same thing I was watching. I forget that guy's name though. He a Giants fan too though. What's his name? I can't remember his name, man. You know what I'm talking about because I was laughing at the same thing. All right. Pennsauken. Gotcha. Pennsauken. Yeah, it's a bunch. Yeah, it's a bunch of names. It's a bunch of names in New Jersey. You see it. It's like, okay. There's so many cities, man. That's why I say Vauxhall the way I say Vauxhall. Vauxhall is a small town. A lot of people don't even know where it is. A lot of people don't. If you say Union, people know Union. So I say Union because that's where I went to high school. That's where I played at. But yeah, it is what it is. It's next to Philly. Well, salute to you for being in Eagles territory and still being a Giants fan. Because it's some people in Jersey, I don't know how they became Eagles fans, but I'm assuming just because they're not close to North Jersey. So it is what it is when it comes to that. I've been to Philadelphia like a handful of times, so I hated the drive. What you know about Vauxhall Road? But you know, Vauxhall Road is long. I'll say that though. It run from Vauxhall all the way through Union. So yeah. I got fam in Camden, Cherry Hill. That's Eagles country too. All right, man. We're going to wrap this thing up again. Shout out to the 125 people still in the building. I appreciate the love and support. Again, I got the Giants going. I got the Giants between 7 to 10 wins this season. Anything less than 7 wins is a failure in my opinion. And maybe heads have to roll. If we get all the way to 10 wins, I'm loving it. I'm loving that means once it's really time to hand over the keys to Jackson Dart, he'll be really ready to go. And the New York Giants will be back to where we need to be. That's how I'm feeling right now. See any more? He said I lived there 60 years ago. Yeah. Sheesh. Salute to you. OG. Across the river from Philly. Chester, PA in the building. Shout out to Chester. He said, who's that? Illuminati says, what up? I'm definitely trying to hit the Raiders game. Yeah, that's on my radar, brother. That is on my radar. That is on my radar. They didn't even have the tickets out for that one. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens when they get closer to that. But that's definitely on my radar. I want like that Chiefs, that home opener against the Chiefs, that is very, very tempting. That is very, very tempting. I know it's going to be crazy. Crazy. It's a night game too, so I know the tailgating, people are going to inebriate it before the game even starts. It's going to be wild, man. Now, yeah, the StubHub, all that, yeah, StubHub, take them out, all that stuff. So, now you good. You good, man. But wait, we just hit the 2-hour mark, man. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to let everybody get out of here, man. We're going to get out of here. Some of y'all got to go to bed. Some of y'all got to wake up early in the morning. And I don't want to be the reason why your alarm clock don't wake you up. So with that being said, let me get these last comments in. People letting each other know where they from. They name in streets. Shout out to the chat, man. At the end of the day, shout out to the chat. And again, Knicks got another chance to go ahead and get to this Eastern Conference Finals. I need that to happen. I really do need that to happen. Also, I need to check my bets, though. I don't know if I hit tonight or not. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's